dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Hey man, welcome back to the Midnight Hustle. I'm DieHard Derek. Thanks for joining us. My next guest is an old college buddy of mine that I've known for 30 years. Now he's a successful Hollywood actor with over 86 IMDb credits to his name. You may have seen him in such feature films like Bel Canto alongside Academy Award winner Julianne Moore, or maybe Kill Chain alongside Academy Award winner Nicolas Cage. Maybe you saw him in Night Swim or in The Low End Theory, or maybe if you were just loafing on your couch, like the couch potato that you are, you're flipping channels and you caught him in a couple of episodes of Animal Kingdom or Justified, or in season 3 of The Sinner alongside Bill Pullman. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for my boy, the one and the only, Eddie Martinez.
Ah, thank you, man. That was a good intro, bro. That was good. I gotta take you around wherever I go, man. You did the whole voice thing and everything.
Oh, bro, man, I've been doing this forever, since 92.
Since 92? With the wrestling, right? Because that's your thing, right? Wrestling.
That was my thing. It was kind of my Achilles heel because it took me off track from the shit that I really wanted to do. And landed here instead. But we'll discuss that, bro. I mean, I'm so glad that you're here, man. We have not spoken in fucking years, but I feel like we got so much to catch up on. I feel like we never lost track, and thank God for social media that we've been able to follow each other, right?
Yeah,
had it not been that, we've all been lost.
Yeah. If it wasn't for like Instagram and me seeing your pictures, right. Yeah, I would be like, what the fuck happened to Derek?
I know, man. It's so crazy how things work out, and we also we got together very young at our age, and that was around the infancy of the internet. So there was no social media when we were in college. There was no social media. Yeah, thank God. Can you imagine this shit? We would be canceled. It'd be over for us right now. We'd be done, cooked. But
we would have been recording at Memo's parties in his basement. That shit.
Dude, I wish somebody would find that tape where I got drunk and I was doing stand-up in his basement. And just roasting everybody that was there.
Dude, I use your line all the time, bro. I use that line all the time when it was like, yo, be a stand-up comedy. I was like, all right, I'm gonna open it with like, let's talk about wiping ass. What's the right way to wipe an ass? That's your line, bro. That was you. That was that night.
Mad. I remember it was like a line or something about, she was like, yo, I don't use bar soap. I was like, well, what do you use? Like fucking Dawn dish soap or something like that? Dude, we had some great times, man. So, but let's give the audience a little bit of a history. We met John Jay. I started John Jay, I didn't want to say it was September of 93, but we ended up meeting. And for anybody who doesn't know, John Jay University, or John Jay College of Criminal Justice in Manhattan, we all went there because we thought, I guess if things don't work out, we're just all going to be cops or something in the legal field. Lo and behold, we ended up finding a drama department, and all us creatives ended up flocking to that drama department, ended up failing a bunch of classes in the mix of it because we never went there. And we literally just have stories that have lasted generations. We build a bond and a friendship, and it's just, the memories, man, they don't die. I gotta say, brother, it's gotta be some of the best years of my life. And I constantly reflect on those days in John Jay and where it took us and how we've grown. But it all started there. And for me, man, I cherish it. I would give anything to go back there. It was just, man, it's been so long. But that's where we met. And the funny thing is, recently on your social media, I saw that you had you put out this article they did on you and shout out LA. Yeah. And let me tell you, bro, that shit choked me up. It hit me emotionally.
Oh.
2 reasons. One is because you talk about your acting journey. Here you are right now. And let me just say, I didn't think I was going to get this interview with you. I thought I had to go to the agents and the office and shit like that. So, because every time I'm on Instagram, I see Eddie Hollywood out there on the red carpet. I was like, oh, he ain't got no time for me. I'm not going to bother him. But in that interview, 2 things. One, you talk about starting in John Jay and going to the play. And I was there with you the day that you auditioned. I'm standing right by your side. We ended up getting cast in La Medea, and you ended up marrying my daughter in the show. And we'll talk about it in a few. But, dude, we connected right there. So for you to take it back to your college days, a lot of times actors don't talk about that. They're like, oh, well, you know, I was doing auditions and shit like that. But you literally took it back to the roots, to the beginning. The other thing is, I've always had this fantasy, 30 years, longer than that since I was a kid, that one day I always want to win an Oscar. And if I won an Oscar, there's people that I want to thank. Obviously, I'm being recognized for my talents, but I also want to thank the people that got me there. And in your article, you mentioned somebody. 2 people that I would thank off the rip is this guy, Joe Lynch, who's in Hollywood with you right now, making movies like Suitable Flesh and Mayhem and Everly and Point Blank. And remind me, I got to get you 2 guys connected. But the other guy is Wilfredo Medina. And when I read of the connection that you and Wilfredo had together, that he was actually your best man at your wedding. And dude, Wilfredo holds such a special place in my heart that those are 2 people that right off the rip, I win a stat, whatever the fuck. I could win a fucking bottle of water. And I'm like, hey, I want to thank Wilfredo and Joe Lynch are 2 of those people. Tell me a little bit about what happened after those college years and how you and Wilfredo molded you into what you've become.
Well, I mean, you said it, bro. Yeah, Wilfredo was a special dude, man. Yeah, well, I guess to just like recap what you said, right? I was in the Marines Reserves back then, dude, and I was shy. I'm still shy, but even more back then. And so, like in speech class, remember Professor Amy Green?
Yep.
Right.
Yep. I know she hated me.
That's right. I got your part when you dropped out because you beefed with her.
That's right. Women in Power.
What was the name of that play, dude?
I think Women in Power. Dude, I couldn't
Women
understand
in
that.
Power. There you go. There you go. There you go. But all right, her
Mhm.
speech class was speech 101, and she's like, "You're gonna have to make 3 speeches and this and that." And I was like, "What the fuck? I'm gonna fail this class." And then she was like, "But if you go audition for the speech and theater department play, you'll get 5 points just on your final grade just for auditioning, and 10 points if you make it into the play." And I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna have to go audition for this play just because I'm gonna need all the help I can get on this class. And then that was La Medea, dude. That was Wilfredo's play. And then Wilfredo saw something in me that I didn't see it. He gave me that lead role. But I mean, back then, you were the dude we looked up to. We were like, yo, Derek is dope. You played like the soprano version of what was your character's name?
Creon.
Creon, there you
That's what
go.
it was, yeah.
You started up in the balcony and shit. Everyone was like, oh shit.
Dude, it was nuts because I was lost at that time, man. 1993, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. I'm trying to get my parents to put me into like film school. I want to go to NYU. They're like, you're not gonna, unless you're Jewish, you ain't gonna make it. Nobody's gonna cast you as a fucking drug dealer, a Latino. You're too short. You're too fucking ugly. I'm like, yo, these are my parents. I'm like, what the fuck? So, I was in a place where I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go be a cop. You'd be happy with that? I get a city job and a pension. And went to John Jay, and dude, for like that first year, I just it wasn't me trying to figure out until I found that theater department. And the first show I had done was with Amy Green. We had done it's called De Donde. It was a Spanish play about immigration and them crossing the border. It's crazy how relevant it is today. And I had the lead there, and from there I was like, well, fuck it. I can act. I could just come to school and do plays. I'm gonna do that. That's my goal. The next year, Wilfredo came in, or the next semester, Wilfredo came in, and he had brought his variation of Family Life Theaters right before you got there. So this was right before Medea, where he's bringing Family Life Theater. And it was something that I had never experienced before, because what he had us do, he created these social situations where we are in conflict with society in some way. And we play these characters. It's all improvisational acting. So there's no script. We have bullet points and an idea of where we're going, pretty much like his business was. And I know you worked there for a little while. And then after you do it, you leave a cliffhanger of the scene. And then you come out in character to talk with the audience in character about the decisions you made during that scene. So it's improvising with your fellow actors and then improvising with an audience, and it's the greatest experience I've ever had on stage.
Yeah, that was
And
basically Family Life Theater. That was it.
Family
Yeah.
Life Theater,
Man,
man.
I didn't realize it back then, but he was teaching us how to write, man. Like
Yeah.
I started writing after that, and I'm realizing I was like, oh man, I've been doing this from the beginning. With like, remember he had us like translate the Medea into like
Medea
our
book.
own, into
Yeah.
our own. And so we were like writing. We were like, and when we were improvising, like it
Hmm.
was such a. I mean, again, he's a special dude, man. Like he opened my world to a whole new creative
Yeah.
reality that I was like oblivious to before that.
He taught me so much about myself. And one of my biggest regrets, and trust me, I'm full of them. I mean, here I am on the brink of turning 50 years old. We met, I'm in what, 21, maybe, if that young. And we've literally lived our entire lifetime all over again. And here we are, right? So I was 21 there. Here I am 25, 26, 27 years later. But I look back at those days with heavy regret because of the egotistical piece of shit asshole that I was, and not realizing when somebody's trying to put you under their learning tree, you're thinking, I'm going to play the dick flute solo. I'm so fucking good. I'm going to get this shit. And then you realize later on in life, like, damn, if you would have got a little more knowledge, you would have been closer to what your original goals were. And I'll never forget. I mean, it really started with him. Like you said, he had us do the backstory and have us rewrite Medea, Shakespearean play. Or I don't know who wrote it, but it's from those days. He's like, I want you to be like this Godfather character. I'm like, all right, cool, bing, it's Goodfellas. So we improv a scene, and I'm like, all right, so you got a very nice house here. It would look better if your brains were splattered across the wall. He goes, all right, that's what I expected you to do. Cut. Stop moving. Just stand there and talk. Think about it. Don't raise your voice. Don't curse. Don't say anything violent. Be menacing. Find it in you. And I was like, holy shit. And it was the first time where a light switch went off on me. And I was like, this guy is teaching me things that I don't even know about myself. And now here I am where I look back at it and I'm like, fuck. Yeah, I was a young, stupid ass 20, 21-year-old kid. But with everything he told me, I used it throughout life in dealing with people and doing job interviews and just dealing with the public. But at the same time, I'm realizing that at 21 years old, I had no experience and no business going on there trying to be something that I wasn't. And almost at 50 years old, I realized that not only the experiences, but the pain that I've been through in that time is better to develop characters today if I had to. How are you using those skills that Wilfredo blessed you with?
Well, I mean, shit, not just Wilfredo, but just life in general, dude. Like what you said, I think just as a human being, I'm a little bit more comfortable in my skin, like
Yeah.
just from experience. Like and then that translates into your work, or into my work, like I feel I'm in a different place now because I'm a different person than, like you said, than when I was 21 years old. Like I wasn't ready, like my
Yeah.
mind's even like I do this thing called capoeira, right? And I kind of was just telling this professor kind of the same thing you said. I was like, I'm learning all these things about feet, like how feet are so important to have your feet flexible and your toes. All this information about feet that kind of affects the rest of your body, like your knees and your hips and this and that, right? And I'm learning all this now. And so the way that I think about this Brazilian martial art, right? The way I think about it, I feel like, oh, I'm in a good place. But now my body's getting older. And I was like, damn, I wish I would have thought about this when I started doing this when I was like 25, 26. But it's just my mind wasn't there. Like I needed to go through those things to get to where I am now. And it's the same thing with my acting career, and it's the same thing with life. You're saying that you were like this stupid 21-year-old kid, man. But I remember you, man. You were funny as fuck. You were like the dude. You were the acting dude that we were like, remember? Didn't we go to the first college theater festival thing we went to? Is because right, you and oh my god, what was her name? Holy shit, the girl that played Medea. That she was so
Oh my
good.
God. I wish I remember her name.
Stacy.
Yes.
Stacy,
Okay.
yeah. That you
Yeah.
guys got nominated for something, and then we went on that trip, and that was such a fun ass trip. That was a
Dude,
fun
that was a
trip.
heartbreaker for me. You know the story behind that, right? I
Well,
wasn't registered in the school that year. I had gotten an
oh,
offer from WWE, And I was just like, I'm going to take the semester off because I think I'm moving to Connecticut. And then WWE flips it on me, and they're like, oh, well, this is just an internship. I'm like, yo, guy, I live in Brooklyn. I go to school in Manhattan. There's no way I'm going to Connecticut every day, Stamford, Connecticut, for zero money. And I had missed registration, so I was out. So I was like, all right, well, fuck it. I got a year to fuck around. I'm going to just go hang out at John Jay, go to the theater department. So when I went there, I get into the fucking play. I'm not a registered student in the school that semester.
Oh, you kept that hitting well. I didn't know that story, dude.
So what happened was we ended up doing the performance, and that night, Wilfredo's like, hey, there's going to be somebody in the crowd. They're looking because they're looking to nominate people, blah, 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 and we qualify. I fucking get the nomination. It's something that I always want. I was like, oh, my God. It was like acknowledgement. It was recognition. And we go to a bar that night, and Wilfredo pulls me to the bar. He goes, hey, I got good news. I got bad news. I was like, what happened? He goes, the good news is you won the nomination. I was like, oh, my God. It's fucking great. He goes, the bad news is you can't accept it. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, you're not a student in here. And I'm like, no fucking way. He goes, here's what we got to do. I know this means a lot to you. We're going to go to Philadelphia or Pennsylvania, wherever it was. We're going to go do the thing. I'm going to let you compete, but you have to lose. And I was like, what? And then I had to do it under Memo's name because Memo was registered. Dude, that's probably where my downward spiral started in 1997. And I was like, that's it. I'm fucking ruined for life. But yeah,
fucking
man.
WWE, man. WWE.
Yeah, man. The Irene Ryan Award. I have no idea who Irene Ryan is to this day. But I got nominated for that. Yeah, man. Fucking hurts. Every day I wake up like, fuck, I'm stuck here. Okay. But dude, so here's the funny thing. I want to bring this up. When I first met you, like you said, you weren't necessarily looking to get into acting. You were doing it for the credit and to find the easy way. When did you fall in love with the art and then start deciding, I'm going to start pursuing this? Fuck everything else. I want to do this.
Man, I think it was a couple of times, man. There's been so many times that I'm like, I'm done with this shit. I'm done. Like, I'm tired of playing the drug dealer. It's like, I don't get the opportunities, and then I miss it, and I come back, and I was like, I can't. But back then, what I remember, what I used to think was, I like doing this, right? It feels good when I do it. It feels like I found something. I was like, but am I really gonna do this? Like, acting is for like pretty white people. What the fuck am I? Like, I'm gonna be an actor? Like, and I thought of acting like, what am I, like a telenovela galán? That's not me. Like we say, I'm short and I look anything but. But then Wilfredo, dude, for my birthday, and this is why I was already working for his theater company. For my birthday, he took me to see John Leguizamo's Freak on Broadway.
Yes. Okay.
And then that was the first time that I saw like someone like me. And then there was like all types of colors in the audience, and everybody resonated with everything that he said, and he was funny and it was heartfelt, and I was like, damn, maybe I could do this. Maybe I could do this. And then that sparked the fuck it. All right, I'm gonna transfer. And I transferred to Brooklyn College to go pursue acting. But then when I transferred, they only took like a few of my credits, not all of them. Yeah. And so I was gonna be in college for like another extra 4 years. And I was like, fuck that, I gotta pay rent. So I minored in acting, and then I majored in communications. just so I could finish college. But that was the first time that I was like, all right, I think I could do this. But then I get to college, and again, another hurdle. And it was like, oh, dude, you got to do all this stuff. And I was like, oh, man, all right, I'm just going to do communications. And I started doing an internship at MTV. And I was going to like, that was my goal. I was like, after I finish this internship, I'm going to get a job at MTV, like behind the camera doing something. But there was this other theater company called, I'm blanking on their name, but it's another theater company that I was working for. And a director from there recommended me to some commercial, that they were auditioning for some commercial. And so I went to this chocolate milk commercial, and I got the part, and I booked it, and I got an agent out of that. And after that, I was like, I made it. I got an agent. Right. And then it was like, MTV, fuck MTV. I got a chocolate milk commercial.
Bro, how many times did we go to audition for SVU, Law and Order, the regular Law and Order, before SVU was out? And we're going over there like, yo, put me on there with Jerry Orbach, because they used to fucking do the auditions right by the pier. by
Yeah,
Pier 32, whatever the case was. Yeah, Pier 50, whatever. And we'd go over there and try to get interviews, not interviews, but auditions. And like, nah, not yet, not another one. We'll keep your head, dude. We were taking headshots. We go fucking with the camera, and then we staple the fucking thing to the back, and we put on the fake credits and shit on there.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Never got
I
a call,
didn't.
man.
Nah,
It was
I didn't know.
it was
Well, that theater company was, I think it was Star. I think it was just called Star something.
okay.
Wilfredo was also but there were a whole bunch of young actors that were like they had knowledge about the business and everything. I'm still friends with one of them, that Lynn Chen. Maybe you know her. She was a whatever. This Asian, she's really good. This Asian actress, really good.
Okay.
She recently even like wrote and directed her own film. Like she's really but
Mhm.
there were these young actors that
Yeah.
had their goals and their mindset, and they kind of schooled me. Like she was like, "Oh, you do this," and back then, which I think is still going on, they had those casting director workshops,
Mhm.
and there was this place called Actors Connection, and I think it's
Okay.
still around in New York. And so I went and I took a casting. It was like a workshop that you go meet a casting director, and then you do like scenes for them, so you could see kind of like how they want, like what they want, what they're looking for, and then they get to see you act. So I
Right.
went and I took one of those workshops, and one of the casting directors was casting director for Law and Order. And I did a scene, and she loved me. She brought me in for an audition, and I booked Law and Order through that. I booked a whole bunch. I met a whole bunch of casting directors because of those workshops. Those workshops is what kind of put me on the map, like behind the scenes. Like casting directors started knowing me from
Mhm.
those workshops.
But dude, that's the hustle though. And a lot of guys just think, oh, I'm gonna make it overnight without putting the grind in. What year were you doing? What year were you booking Law and Order and the chocolate milk commercial and doing those workshops, give or take?
Shit, I don't even remember the year, but I mean it's probably early 2000s. I know that the chocolate milk commercial was the first, like the first TV job that I
Okay.
booked. The second thing, you know, what was my first TV job? Unsolved Mysteries.
Get out of here. Really? Oh, I gotta find that episode. What, are you shitting
Yeah,
me?
I played a Salvadorian gang member.
No, why? You don't look anything like that.
But that was my first. Then my second TV job was Law and Order, dude. It was Law
Uh-huh.
and Order, and then Law and Order Criminal Intent,
Yep. Yep.
and then that was all through those casting director workshops, and but that was like in the span of maybe like 4 years. Maybe it was
Mhm.
those three jobs. And do you remember that movie Maria Full of Grace?
Yeah.
So I got pretty close at getting like a part in
Okay.
that film. And with that, I got really tight with the casting director. And she was another one like Wilfredo that was like, "Oh, there's something special about you. You're good, this and that,
Mhm.
this and that." And at the same time, Jessica, my wife, do you remember Jessica? I don't think you guys ever met.
I don't think
'Cause
so.
she was
No.
like, you were like that where you after that La Medea and
Uh,
Women in Power, you disappeared. I don't know where you went. And then that's when
yeah.
she came in.
You know where I went? You probably remember this. Remember when right before we opened La Medea? Remember Ali Knight? You still know Ali, right?
Yeah, I was just gonna tell you about it. We talk about you all the time.
Are you shitting me, dude? I would love to catch up with Ali.
Oh,
So
he's on
Ali,
Instagram, dude. I'll send you his
he is
page.
never posting. I can't find that guy.
He's got a beautiful family too. He's got two
Oh,
beautiful kids. Yeah, he lives in
really?
Oakland. In
Oh,
Oakland, yeah, he lives in
really?
Oakland.
Okay.
Yeah, he
Dude, I'm gonna have
still
to look.
talks to Edgar. You remember Edgar, your boy Edgar?
Edgar. Ah, he married Nikki, right?
Yeah, he married
Yo,
little Nikki.
the people who are watching the podcast, I'm like, who the fuck are these people? This is between us. Fuck you. This
I
is
told you. I told you.
yeah,
Well, Edgar and Nikki live in. You're in Florida, right? That's where you're at,
yeah.
they live
Yeah,
in
I'm in
Florida
Tampa.
too. I think they live in Orlando, if I remember.
That's an hour and
They're
a half away.
they're married. They got three little kids too. I think they're adults
Yeah,
by
yeah.
now. Edgar's a lawyer. I forgot what
Yeah,
Nikki
look
does.
out. Really? Dude, so when La Medea was about to open, Ali was working, well, not working, but he had an affiliation to this company, first ever podcasting studio. And we went there. You remember that I got kicked out because I was making jokes on the air and fucking with
Oh yeah, I do.
Bro, the funny thing is that started my career in podcasting because they grabbed me on the way out. And they're like, yo, we like what you do, but you got to fucking smarten up. You can't be talking shit like that. This is going out to a worldwide audience. You're not media trained, blah, blah, blah. They could shut us down. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. By the way, how do I get a show? And I ended up getting a show. It was there for almost 4 years until they shut down. But yeah, man, that's
Oh
where I ended up
wow.
going after John Jay.
Wow, did Ali know that you got a show?
He
It's so
did, but
funny.
I think he left them on bad terms. Like it was him and a group of his friends that I guess they were
Yeah.
making music together, and they had a show called like Keeping It Real or something like that. And we went on there and they had a segment like, "Yo, keep it real." Like I'm gonna keep it real. I was probably doing the bit with the wiping your ass thing over there.
Well, that was your tamed material. You probably
Yeah,
did worse shit.
dude. My wife now, she's like, "Yo, you can't speak in public. You got no filter." Because the thing is, whatever comes to my head, the first thing comes in my mouth. There's no editing. There's no proofreading or nothing. It's just, bleh. I'm like, "Oh shit, there I go. Put my foot in my mouth
Hey,
again, though."
a little side note, and I know your audience is gonna be like, so what's your sister? I forgot your sister. Remember your little sister? What's your
Yeah,
sister's name?
you met my sister Dana.
Yeah, we went to your house. Remember, we went to
Oh,
your
dude, yeah,
house.
yeah.
You lived in Brooklyn, some nice
Yep.
ass building somewhere. I can't remember, but
Yeah, they projects now, but it's
oh, they are.
yeah. I mean, they turned to Section 8 or some shit like that. But yeah, man, yeah, all that's dude.
What's your sister's name though? I'm sleeping on her name.
Dana.
Dana. All right. So I remember one time we were like at your house, right? Or
Mhm.
we were hanging out.
Yeah.
And Ali was like, we were like, I don't know, in somebody's car or something, probably Memo's car. I don't know, I can't remember. But he was like, hey, what's Derek's sister's name? And I
Yeah.
was like, Jeanette. And he was like, oh yeah. And he was like, hey, Jeanette. And for like 3 weeks, he was calling her Jeanette. And then somehow you caught it and you were like, who's Jeanette? And he's like, your sister. He was like, Dana, my sister's name is Dana. And he looks at me like, yo, I called her Jeanette for 3 weeks.
Yo, dude, we had such a great group, and it wasn't like dude. It's funny, like you watch the Fast and Furious movies, and Vin Diesel got that line like, "Yo, I don't have friends, I got family." I'm like, well, that's how we lived, man. We fucking connected together. We were all creative. We all had our specialty, man, and we just meshed. Like I said, those are some of the greatest years of my life because we never broke apart. But it at some point, college comes to an end or people start moving on. And had it not been for social media, man, we wouldn't be catching up. We wouldn't know what paths we ended up taking in our lives. And it's great to see Memo as a cop. It's great to see Edgar as a lawyer now. It's great to see Ali with his family and you doing what you're doing right now, man. And there was so much going on. Back then, you didn't think what was going to become like right now. I still have I got the old man stress. Like, all right, I got to pay these bills. I got to cover the mortgage. I got to do this, that, the other thing. Back then, you're worry free, man. You're just living it out there and you're creative and your juices are flowing. That's why they call it the prime of your life. And you struck while the iron was hot, man. You did the right things and it got you to where you are now. And dude, I'm so fucking happy for you. You have no idea because we all had the dream. Here you are, man. Every time I see you on a red carpet, every time I see you announcing a new project that you just booked or that you're working on or heavily involved in, I'm like, dude, anything that I can do to help support you and get you, because I remember the day one. And dude, just because I'm sitting here in this little fucked up little spot over here, I'm still chasing it. It's just in Tampa. This is where dreams go to die. So I got unfinished business. And I'm gonna figure it out somehow. And I'm hoping that one day we cross paths again where we get the chance to work together.
Hey, you never know, bro. That'd be dope. That'd be dope. Because it's like me, I don't live your everyday life, man. But from the outside looking in, man, like I feel like the feeling is mutual, bro. Because I was like, I was telling Ali this. I was like, you look at Derek, man, and it feels like you're doing good, but like to me, the most important thing is like family, right? And I'm happy that I'm still with the girl that I fell in love with. I still feel the same way about her. We got like 3 beautiful, like good kids, and they're doing good, and and we live nice, but like I feel love around me, right? But when I look at your life, I feel like Derek too. Derek didn't fuck it up.
And that was the expectation. Ask Wilfredo. So,
well, another side story, dude. I think I was with Ali or Tai. Somewhere. We were somewhere, and we saw Lori. On some festival somewhere in New York, right? And then and I asked about you, and she's like, "Oh, well, we broke up. And and then she looked so sad. She looked so sad. And I remember I was like, "Oh, Derek is a dumbass. He fucked it up," because you could tell that Lori was in love with you. And so then later on, when I found you, or when we found each other on Instagram, wherever the hell,
Facebook, either or, yeah.
yeah, and then I saw that you were with Lori and then you got kids. I was like, oh, fucking Derek didn't mess it up, man. He's got a beautiful family. He's
You
got a beautiful
know,
family.
Lori and I have been together since '94, and I guess you hit that 10-year mark. So in 2004, things got a little rough. It was just it's that growing stage, man. And when you're with somebody at such a young age, she was 16, I was 19. There's no they can't lock me up for that now, right? So, but she was 16, and granted, it's one of those situations where it's like she didn't get to live her life because she was locked onto me, and maybe there was some resentment there. So in 2004, she was like, fucking leave it, I'm done. And I was like, ugh. And bro, the worst pain in my fucking life. And it might be one of the reasons why I still want to act or direct, because from that pain, I learned so much. And from that pain, I'm able to harness that and be creative and use that as an experience. Because until you feel that fucking destruction, dude, I'd rather be tortured physically, have this shit beat out of me, just like slice my fucking eyelids and put hot sauce in there, as opposed to feeling emotional pain again. But because of that emotional pain, I'm a different person, man. And I've learned so much about me, and being kind and being different and putting other people, making sacrifices for other people. So yeah, man. So yeah, I probably did fuck it up back then, but we got it back together, man. And
Well, you
and
did
like,
something right, man. Because again, looking at your life, bro, it feels like
yeah,
you're living a good life. You got a
I
nice
appreciate it, bro.
family, and you're still with the girl that, you could tell from way back then that she was in love with you. So you did
Yeah,
something right.
yeah.
You did
I,
something right, dude.
I did something. Hopefully, I'm still doing it, or I wore her out. She ain't going nowhere. So, but dude, I want to talk about you. The focus is you, and like I said, I'm so happy with what you're doing. But your daughter now got the acting bug. I saw that,
Yeah,
that she had scored Duster. Unfortunately, I know it recently the bad news came in that it got canceled. But dude,
stupid ass HBO.
listen, I don't know what kind of talk you had with her, because obviously you've got the experience of not booking things, or missing things, or having things, getting canceled out on you. But at the end of the day, with so much material out there, so much content, it's not necessarily, a lot of TV shows don't get watched, a lot of movies don't get watched. But at the end of the day, what counts is the credit. And you can say, hey, I was there for however long it lasted. It might have been one season, but I was there. I was a part of it. And you can't take that away from me. They can't take that credit off of IMDb and say it never existed. The show existed. She existed as a character. And from that, she's going to continue to grow. So I hope that things are looking up for her, and it's hard news to swallow when you're that young. But at the same time, that's just the beginning. And for her to get a J.J. Abrams show on HBO Max and have one season, dude, sky's the limit for her right now. And I'm so happy for you that you passed that love of the arts to her, that she sees how well you're doing, and she's like, I want to follow in Dad's footsteps. And dude, look at what she fucking booked. That's so tremendous. I'm so happy for you guys.
Oh, thanks for saying that, man. Yeah, she took it like a champ, man.
Yeah.
And like I said, and the reason why I'm like stupid HBO is because I kind of had an idea, even though nothing was
Mhm.
written out yet, or like where the story was going for season two.
Mm.
And it was like I thought it was a good show, not just because my daughter was in it. It was like we're watching it with like family and friends. It was like, oh man, this show is good. I was like, Adriana doesn't even know how lucky she is to be in a good show. Like it
Mhm.
was like the two leads, Rachel, Nina, and Jim, like or
Mhm.
Josh Holloway and Rachel.
Yeah.
They're so good. I was like, this show is good. So to hear that, what they had planned is not going to come to fruition. It's
Mhm.
kind of like but as far as her, dude, she took it
She's
like a
good.
champ. Yeah,
Oh, good,
she
good.
was like kind of like what I'm saying too. She was like, "Oh, it would have been fun to go back again." Like, why? People were liking it. And I was like, "Yeah, but I guess not enough people were watching it." She was like, "Oh, well, that's dumb." All right, and then she was
What's
fine.
next?
She was fine.
Oh, dude,
I
that's
think
great.
yeah, I think my wife and I were more sad than she was. But yeah, I mean, again, that's why I got lucky with
Yeah,
that because all three of my kids,
they're all acting.
act.
Get
Yeah,
out
they're
of
all
here.
into acting. I know if I would have been a doctor, dude, maybe all would have been doctors. But yeah,
Fucking
they all.
Nepo babies. Look at this guy. Fucking Eddie Martinez. Nepo fucking Hollywood up.
I'm gonna be the nepo baby,
Can
dude.
you adopt me?
They're good, bro. Yeah, well, yeah, me. We'll get adopted by them. They're like naturally good, and I guess it makes sense because they're watching. It's a family thing, right? So like
Yeah, yeah.
everything, all the auditions since like 5 years, everything is it's called self tape. So it's like you record yourself at
Okay.
home.
Yeah.
All right. And so then Jessica, she's my reader. She's the one that helps me audition. So it's like it's a whole ordeal here whenever, like, and it was like so many auditions. So looking back now, I'm realizing, yeah, of course, like they've been watching, and sometimes I would recruit them to be my readers. So it's like
That's
they
great.
kind of got like the how it goes, and and then
Mhm.
and they treat it like, like it's just part of everyday thing. So
Let me ask you a question. And correct me if I'm wrong, and maybe I got the title all fucked up. But you've got a feature coming out with our Star People. You guys
mhm.
working together? Is that released yet? I know it's scheduled for this year, right?
Yeah, it's gonna come out on limited theaters
Okay.
July 25th through the 31st, I think, for like a week. And
Hmm.
then they're gonna put it on a streamer, I think, in one of those VODs,
Hmm.
and then maybe later on the ones with ads. But it's starting July 25th. It's in New York. Man, I forgot the name of the theater, but that one down in Manhattan. I'll look it up. I'll send it to
Angelica?
you. They change. It's not the Angelica, but it's the other one, and it starts with an
Okay.
M.
It's been a while.
But whatever. It's in one of those in like the indie theaters
Okay.
in Manhattan,
Hmm.
and then in Phoenix, because it was shot in Phoenix and it
Yeah.
kind of takes place in Phoenix, and I think in a theater out here somewhere in LA too. It's gonna be on limited release. Yeah,
How
that
is it
was a
work?
cool project. I got to work with my daughter,
That's what I'm asking.
and
How is it to work with your kids on something that's actually not like a fan film or some shit like that, but something that's legit that's going to be released. And this is a job. This is what you do. This is what they do now. But to have the family together and working together, it's almost like family business. What was that like?
it was a great experience, dude. It was like one of those things that I'm gonna remember for the rest of my life. Um, The film, like, I liked it. I like the story is
Mhm.
really good. It's about this girl Claire who do you remember the Phoenix lights from 1997, that there
Oh
was
yeah.
like these like lights in the sky that a whole bunch of
Hmm.
people saw. So the lead, her character is the character's name is Claire. When she's a little girl, she sees the Phoenix lights, and now that she's all grown up, she's obsessed with UFOs, and she keeps
Hmm.
searching for these lights, and she gets a tip that there's some sightings out in the desert, in the desert, in the
Yeah.
Arizona desert. So she goes out there with the guy that she's dating and her brother, and her brother is an addict, is a recovering addict, and there's all this thing going on between them. They end up in some house out in the desert, and she goes out looking for the lights, and she runs into a man, an immigrant man from Ecuador, Ricardo, that's me, that's crossing the border with his
Uh huh.
little with his daughter. And then there's a heat wave and all this stuff happens. But like,
Okay.
to me, this whole story was about four people that are lost, more than about like UFOs or like,
Hmm.
it's about four people that are lost that end up finding themselves once they meet each other. And
That's
it's
great. That's great,
yeah,
man.
it's a slow burn, and it's written like in a really like subliminal, you know, what would be the right way? It's just to me, like the subtext is really good.
Hmm.
I think it's
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
family. It's about family more than
Right, right.
than
There's more layers to it than average. What's at face value? Yeah, and bro, the funny thing is, like, I'm the biggest movie junkie that there is. I fucking love movies. I live movies. Lori gets me. I've got a secret credit card where I just go buy physical media. I'm like, oh, Criterion's on sale. Give me that shit. So I got my kids into that shit too. Um, and like they don't want to see big tentpoles. They don't want to see $200 million movies. They want to see A24 films. Then they want to dissect it and talk about it. Let's talk about Ari Aster. Let's talk about Yorgos Lanthimos. Let's talk about Robert Eggers. Let's break it down. And they strip it. And I'm like, oh, I created some fucking monsters over here. This is beautiful.
That's good. Yeah, they
But
become who you are, huh?
but they resent me because we're in Tampa Bay. And like I said, Tampa is a place where dreams go to die. There's nothing to do down here. I can't get them any work doing production work or on set work or even auditions or anything like that. And they've got talent. There's nothing to do in Tampa. How's that working out for you living in LA? Was it easy to get to transition your kids into the film business because you're in LA? Is a hot spot?
Yeah, I would say in the beginning, yeah. When we moved out here, everything was out
Okay.
here. It was here in New York, and then
Hmm.
later on, it started transferring to New York, LA, and Atlanta. But ever since the strike and the pandemic, man, things are shifting, dude. So
Okay.
I would say that Tampa doesn't necessarily have to be the place where dreams go to die, because everything is shifting. Even
Yeah.
nobody knows where it's headed. The studios are on like in contract, like what I called on save mode,
Hmm.
right? So it's like unless those big budget films, those are the ones that are getting greenlit and
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
here. But even those, like some, they're going overseas, like Australia and Europe,
Yeah. They're getting a lot of
Canada.
tax credits to do that too, though. So it's working
Right.
out for them.
Yeah.
But I hear
Now
also.
the governor here
Mhm.
recently passed, which is going to bring some work here,
Okay.
but like I think the content is shifting towards creator content, like social media stuff,
Right.
like
Right.
the social media influencers. And right now is the time where anybody who like picks up a camera and shoots whatever content they want on their YouTube channel, and they get
Hmm.
subscribers and stuff like that. That's what the streamers are looking at, and they're wanting to work with them more than like actors who've been doing
Right.
this.
Right.
They look at oh, how many subscribers do you have to your YouTube channel? How many
Hmm.
followers do you have? Like you Tubi, like that's who they're working
Yeah.
with.
Yeah.
Like TikTok influencers who have, I don't know, whatever followers
Right.
they.
Right. But
So
it's almost like a double-edged sword where if they're starting to pull influencers on, and I'm not saying that influencers aren't talented because they are. There's a lot who aren't. But if they have a high follower subscription count, if they've got, let's say, over 1 million people, even 100,000 people, the producers are looking at that and saying, "Oh, well, that's 100,000 more people that are going to hear about this, and I don't have to do shit. I don't. The studio doesn't have to spend money because now we're going to get those eyeballs based on your influence. The people who follow
exactly.
you are going to follow what you're doing, and that helps us out. So sometimes they're not even booking based on the talent or based on the read. They're booking based on what they can drain from that fan base that they have following them. So I mean, like I said, it's a double-edged sword, but a lot of times you're losing out to people who don't have the love or the passion that you would have. Like,
Yeah, you're
somebody
right.
who,
It's not, I mean, you're absolutely right. It's not always going to
Mhm.
translate, right? Just because they're good at, making YouTube videos doesn't mean that
Yeah.
they're going to be great actors or be able to tell great stories. But I think the point though is that the old model of like raise money and you get a
Mhm.
production company or a studio behind you, and then if the movie's good, it sells out. And then I think that model is changing, and I think
Yeah.
because studios are contracting,
Mhm.
and then you have social media and streamers. I think it's more like an open game, like
Right.
like now the you don't necessarily need a studio anymore. You can create your own content, and now they're paying attention to that,
Well,
which I
bro,
think is good.
when we were starting out, I mean, you couldn't even afford to buy a camera at that time. Now you're getting cinema quality cameras. You have Adobe Premiere Pro or Final Cut Pro. I mean, you can literally make a movie with anything. Virtual studios, AI now, all the technology, these kids got it at their fingertips. And it's
Yeah.
going to kind of change the game, but it's also going to tell people, hey, you're going to have to level up your ideas. You thought it was a grind then. Just because you have the tools and because it's affordable now doesn't necessarily mean that it's easier. It's going to be harder because now everybody has the toys to play with. And
Well, I mean, I believe from the bottom of my heart that even with, because AI is the whole big talk now, right?
mhm,
AI is it's not the future, it's the now, right? It's
all
coming
right,
in, and then it's gonna take creator content or creators' work, and it's gonna replace creators. And some people like that, some people don't. I'm on the camp that I don't think that it's going to happen yet, because I still think that what people at large resonate with is like good
mhm,
stories, like
yeah,
storytelling. I think is the main point for me,
mhm,
and like you still need that human heart, like pulling
yeah,
on your heartstring, or your human
right,
consciousness, right? I don't
mhm.
know, maybe in a couple of years, if AI becomes self-conscious, I think the world is going to be over like Terminator by then.
Yeah, no,
but
well,
but right now it's still too
mhm,
like too perfect, too fake. I don't think it's
yeah,
going to be able to. So I think at the heart of it, you still need good storytellers, someone who
yeah,
can tell compelling stories. um it's just that right now the only vehicle is not through the studio system, but now it's
right.
online is bringing more attention, is getting their attention now.
Let me ask you this too, and not to get off track, but it's kind of on the same thing. It's two-part question here. One, starting out for so long, being typecast. When you look at the credits, it's a lot of cop work, a lot of drug dealer work, a lot of Latino typical work. How are you working to break that? And have you considered telling your own stories, getting behind the camera, producing your own content, so that way you can tell stories and put yourself and your kids in not so much stereotypical characters and themes.
Yes and yes. I think the way I think the way that I broke out of that stereotype is
Mhm.
when I didn't care about it. This is funny, man. I went through this whole period where I was like, I'm tired of playing drug dealers. I'm not gonna audition for any more drug dealers. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. Right. And then I worked on Narcos Mexico with Michael Pena.
Oh,
And the,
nice.
the dude, like, he gave me the best advice that kind of shifted my whole I said this in front of him, and he was like, yeah, me too, man, me too. But you know what I do? It's like I play them like real human beings, and all I care about is story. And I really took that and pondered upon
Yeah.
that, and it was like, I was like, and then I started, like, writing. I was
Mhm.
writing, and the writing, like what you said, I started writing like the script about, but just writing shifted my whole mentality or frame of
Mhm.
mind from like what characters that I want to be featured in, as like what's a good story. And I
Right.
want to be part of a good story. And if I have to play a drug dealer in a good story, it's okay as long as it fits the
Mhm.
story. And if it's a good story, then it's gonna be a good. I feel like I think in that article that you read, right? Like, I look
Mhm.
at it as
Yeah.
acting is just a puzzle. It's just a piece of a
Yeah.
big puzzle, right? So if that piece makes sense, right? If I fit in there as a drug dealer, it doesn't matter as long as the story is good.
Yeah.
And when I shifted that, like, my friend, the guy who directed the Low End Theory,
Okay.
he sent me. He's a good friend of mine. He's a really good director. I actually, this is a cool story too. Like, I saw his short film like 20 years ago at the Latino Film Festival.
Mhm.
Best short film I ever saw in my life. I thought it was so fucking good. And then in the program they had the emails of the directors, right? And I
Mhm.
emailed three directors of the three films that I liked the
Yeah.
most. He's the only dude that replied to me. He's like, "Oh, thank you, this and that," right?
Yeah.
Flash forward 20 years later, like, I met the dude and we became friends, right? Like, we were like, I
Mhm.
met him at events and we
Yeah.
became friends, right? And shortly after this Narcos Mexico thing, then I'm like, I'm writing and it should be about story. Doesn't matter if I play a drug dealer or whatever.
Mhm.
The dude sent me the script that he's working on, the Low End Theory. And in it, he was like, I want you to look at this part of Yuli, but he's a drug dealer. And I
Mm.
read that script and I was like, oh man, you see, like, this is exactly like I fucking that part was
Right.
like, that was, I mean, the whole all the parts is like
Mhm.
a character driven, it's
Sure.
it's a neo noir crime thriller, but
Mhm.
it's, and what I'm saying is like that made me like want to help him get the film off the ground, help him find investors, like,
Yeah.
but
Is
if
that
I
the one you were promoting a couple of years ago?
yeah, I think so. Yeah,
That's one
yeah,
online.
because
Yeah. You were
yeah.
trying to raise funds on it with, like, I don't know, was it Kickstarter or?
Oh, no, 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 that was my film. That was me writing, and that was a capoeira project. This was his project that he
Okay.
wrote with
Okay.
so, but I helped them, like, like I have a manager, and she's like, so
Mhm.
I helped them find some of the funding for it, and
Yeah. Yeah.
but so it wasn't that one. But
Okay.
I wouldn't even had read the script if I
Mhm.
had still been on, like, I'm not gonna play a drug deal anymore because I've done that. I'm over that.
Right.
But I
Right.
was already shifting my mind frame into like it's just
Yeah. Yeah.
look, the focus should be like, is this a story, a good story that you wanna,
Mhm.
does like the story that's being told, does it make sense?
I'll take it back to Wilfredo Medina again. In doing La Medea, I am talking to him about, again, the role Creon was a gangster role, right? I'm the Godfather. I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm going into the Rolodex of all the gangster movies that I've seen, and oh, I'm gonna play Brando, Pacino, De Niro. How are we gonna do this one? And he goes, no, no, no. Make him your gangster if you were the gangster, but it's not what you're playing that you're playing a gangster. It's how you're playing it. So don't think
Yeah.
of it as being typecast. Don't think of it as about, oh, the typical gangster looks like this. No, no. How would you make him look? How do you play it? If you tomorrow you woke up and you had this power, how would you handle it? And I was
Yeah,
like,
that's one of the
oh
key.
shit.
Yeah, that's one of the key components, I think, of
Mhm.
like, how do you make it specific to yourself?
Right, right, man. It's such a
That's when you
powerful
see
thing. A lot of people think it's just reading lines. and imitating their favorites, their idols. And yeah, some people get by doing that, but those aren't the true artists. The true artists are the ones that are able to transform into that character and make that character reality. And that is where you get your Vin Diesel. And again, I know you're in the industry, so I ain't shit on what I'm saying, but Vin Diesel, who plays the same thing, and you get your Daniel Day-Lewis and your Christian Bales and these characters that really immerse themselves into these roles and become that character where it's almost method. Have you tried method at all?
I did in the beginning, but
Uh-huh.
it's just too draining, and I think
Yeah.
it was just too much.
Okay.
And I like stepping out of it and separating I need sort of like a distance between when I'm home with my family, uh
You never want to bring a
and
character home.
yeah.
Okay.
So it's like, so I need that distance.
Yeah.
Because then, like, you said, right, so most of the parts that I played are like these dark characters.
Hmm.
So I like, it's funny, but it's like your whole energy, like, I feel drained. You feel
Right.
like drained when you really commit to it. You feel drained.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if I'm there, like, constantly there, like, like Daniel Day-Lewis and all that, I think it
Hmm.
would just I would end up in a hospital. It's just I feel like it's too much.
It's a lot.
I need
It's a
some
lot of energy.
distance.
Yeah, and a lot of sometimes I find that method actors end up getting lost in their work, and it's like, all right, it's a wrap, and they don't know how to detach from that character that they've brought home, that they've maneuvered through life as, because they never wanted to let go of the connection they've had with the character itself, and they always wanted to be authentic, but the minute that you break off from it, the authenticity is gone. But that causes problems. And in having a family, especially if you're, like you said, you're portraying dark characters, to bring that character home for your family to see it, and you're in that mindset, it does more damage than it's worth later on. Like, was that character actually worth it?
Yeah, exactly. And to me,
Yeah.
it's just enough. Like on the drive there, on the flight there, that's enough
Hmm.
for me. I put on music.
Yeah.
Pick songs for the characters that I'm playing. I'm
Hmm.
like, oh, like I try to fool my brain, like, to make it like if it's a real life. And so it's
Hmm.
like, this is the music that he would be listening to. And
Yeah.
on the drive or on the plane, that's the playlist that I play, and that's how, well, I'm like getting ready for that. But then when I'm on my way home, it's like, then it's my playlist and it's Eddie's
Hmm.
playlist.
Yeah. Dude, let me ask you a question, because I know we're running short on time, and we're definitely gonna have to follow up. There's so much more I want to talk to you about.
What time? I don't even know what
Um,
time.
no.
No, I just didn't even know what time it was.
Oh,
Like
okay,
it's
yeah, dude. I'm telling you, we're catching up so much that the time is just flying by. But I know you're a busy man, so I'm gonna hold you to schedule, so it's good. But dude, I can't tell you how happy I was when I saw you on season 3 of Sinner, and Vic Soto, that character. And again, it's a cop, but the way your chemistry with Bill Pullman in that thing, and I saw your rap video, where not necessarily that you were rapping, but when they wrapped the season, and I guess he was just saying that, the goodbyes to the cast and crew. It looked like Pullman took a real like to you, especially that character Soto. It felt like in him finding his character, he found the balance with yours. What was that experience like?
another great experience, man. He's another great
Hmm.
dude. All the main actors in that, well, not
Hmm.
just the main actors, all the actors in that season, they were all like not only just great actors, but just great human beings,
Yeah.
man. Bill Pullman, right? You think like he's been in all this stuff.
Hmm.
He's like, the star of the show, and he was such a giving person, man. I
Hmm.
remember like one time, he directed a film, and I saw it because I wanted to get to know his
Of
work,
course.
and I didn't know that he directed. So I saw the film that he directed, and then we talked for like an hour in my trailer. Like he sat
Hmm.
there and talked to me about his life. He was, showing me like shortcuts instead of like, not letting the pressure get to you.
Hmm.
Like he was just a nice, like,
Great
giving
learning
actor, like,
tree.
yeah. And
Yeah.
then like when the camera is on you and then the other character is behind the camera, sometimes they're just feeding you lines, and but not there with you, right?
Yeah.
Like
Hmm.
not him. He like even when the coverage was on me, he's still giving it, he's still giving you something to play off, and when he
Hmm.
didn't have to. But
Yeah.
everyone there, like Matt Bomer, that was another dude, that really good actor and beautiful. Like this fucking guy. Like I feel like my wife was like, "Oh my god, you're working with Matt Bomer." Everyone was like, "Oh my god, you're working with Matt Bomer, Matt Bomer." All right, all right.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I'm like, "What's the big deal?" And then when I saw him, I was like, "Oh yeah, he's a beautiful man. This dude is like, he looked like Superman to me." I was like, "This guy should
Maybe
have been
it a little bit.
it's like this guy should have been Superman, right?" And then another like really
Yeah.
nice ass dude, nice dude,
Uh-huh.
and Chris Messina, another guy, bro. I loved watching that guy, dude. That guy is intense,
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
and just the most friendliest fucking, like you can have the most chill conversation with him.
Uh-huh.
And Parissa, like the girl that played his another,
Yeah.
like we became cool. Like she was another one that was such an interesting, like
Mhm.
that was such a good, like I got so lucky, dude, to be part of that
Yeah.
season because
Yeah.
it was such a good, like the showrunner
Mhm.
was like a really down to earth nice guy, like opening for open to listening, suggestions, like
Mhm.
I went and I told him, and he like rewrote stuff to fit me for where I thought the
Sure,
character.
sure.
So it was just,
That's
it was
great.
good. Like I feel like I was spoiled, man. That
Yeah, yeah.
but
It's funny
everyone
because
was
I remember seeing the first season. I was like, oh, that's really interesting. I love the concept there with Jessica Biel. Second season, I kind of fell off on it. I was like, following the kid thing. And I was like, all right, sophomore Jenks. I was like, oh, there's a third season. Oh, cool. That's that dude, Boomer. That's cool. And then I was like, that's fucking Eddie. That's fucking Eddie. I was like, yo, it's like I gotta watch season 3 now. Here it goes. But dude, yeah, you were tremendous on that, and you've done so much work, and I feel like your best is yet to come. I feel like that your breakout, it's approaching. Like people are gonna start knowing that Eddie Martinez name. They're gonna recognize that face when you walk down the street. Like, yo, that's it. My fucking mother called me the other day because I put her on to Sinner when you were on it, and she calls me. I'm gonna send you the video. You send me your number. She goes, "Is this Eddie?" I'm like, "You watch Sinner?" She goes, "No. This is Animal Kingdom." I said, "He's on fucking Animal Kingdom too." So, bro, tell you got a large fan base out here in Tampa, man. So we're very,
your
very
whole
happy to see
family
you down
lives
here.
in Tampa now.
Yeah,
Your
yeah,
parents
drag them
go.
all down here, man. Yeah, we're
Uh,
Puerto Ricans, bro. We can't be apart from each other, so we just, we made the move and they all came down. So it's
you
all good.
got
Dana's
more.
down here too.
You probably have more room down there, right? There's more room than in Brooklyn.
It it's different, man. I know I was a hothead way back in the day, and this it's like a Zen garden. It gave me tranquility. It changed who I am. But like a lot of my experiences changed who I am over the years. Like we're talking about the breakup with Laurie too. It's just I had to see things differently, and it changed me as a human being, and as a creator, it changed how I approach things or how I see things, or how I create things, for lack of a better term. It's more of a giving than taking. I remember back in the day, it was like, I need this and I got to take that and I got to build and it's me. And at some point, you're just like, hey, man, there's enough for everybody. And when you start doing for others, you're still a part of that. And my circle's tight, but when you treat those people like family and you start, it comes back to you at some point. And even if it doesn't come back to you, to see that your influence or your advice or something that you put out there helps somebody else achieve their goals or their dream or got them to the next level, sometimes that's all you need. It doesn't always have to be about you and your rewards. It's about the rewards that you hand out. I'm just a giver. I hate accepting. I'm just a giver. I like to give. So yeah, man, it's different. I don't know how the fuck we got on that, but
Oh, but that's good, man. That's a sign of maturity, and also
yeah,
maybe
man.
you became a father, and so you knew that you know,
Dude, you know how
like
many movies I cry at now? I go to theaters and I start fucking tearing up, and I'm like, oh my god, what's yo, dude? I'm an
But
emotional
it's good
mess.
that you got there, Derek, man, because some
Yes.
some people never get there, man. Some
Yeah,
people
man.
so I'm glad that you're there, man. I'm
Well,
I'm, I'm
thank you. I
happy.
appreciate that, brother. And dude, I'm like I said, I can't tell you how proud I am. And like I said, I do a lot of crying. I not a lot. It's tears rolling down, but I got emotional when I read that Shout Out LA article because it put me in a time machine and it took me back to some of my happiest days. And to see you and for you to accept this invitation and that you didn't go fucking, Ed Hollywood on me like, I can't right now, dude. You the little the fact that we still have this connection, even though time and distance has been there. I don't want that to fucking sever again. I feel like this was a good way for us to connect again, relive those memories. And now that we have families, we were friends as college boys, but now here we are as fathers and as grown men. And I think that's another that's the next chapter of our relationship. And I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm so fucking happy for you, and I'm so happy for your family and everything that you guys are achieving. And I know you originally you fucking told me I probably shouldn't put this out here on the cast, but you're like, I don't want to do the interview because I haven't booked anything big yet. I'm like, dude, the fact that you're fucking doing it is big enough. Let's talk about that. And I feel like we didn't even discuss your career as much as we should have, and I want to bring you back to do so. I also want to pick your brain, man, because you weren't a movie guy back in the days. You were like, movies, I get bored with them sometimes. And I want to know what kind of shit you're into, who you're following, what you study. I want to pick the brain of Eddie Martinez, successful actor.
Bro, appreciate it, man. Feeling is mutual, man. Whenever you come out here, man, let's try to link up. If you come out here, we'll hit up Ali, Memos in Phoenix, so we can, we can try to make it happen, bro. We talk about you all the time, you little crumb snatcher. You remember Louis, crumb snatcher?
Yo, so many good memories, man. So much fun. I might actually be out there in November. My kids might be going to Flognog at Dodger Stadium. So I'll holler at you. Maybe we'll hook it up.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I'll tell Ali, see if he can drive down here or make it come out here too for. Oh, but wait, fuck, I might be in Brazil in November. Whatever. We'll just hit me up and then we'll
figure it out. And like I said, my kids, I still got the itch. My kids got the itch. I might have to go to fucking LA on the regular now and get my ass out of Tampa.
Bro, if you got the itch, man, I'm telling you, there is no perfect time than right now because everything is shifting. I know, like the old model is, the studios in this and that, but that's not how it is. And I'm telling you, for someone that has been, like in the grind, and I've been through the ups and downs and many strikes in this industry. And right now, it's a time where things are like nobody knows what's gonna happen. Everything is shifting. Even like the big guys, the established people don't know which way things are gonna go. I mean, like you said, like this show we just talked about, like, a J.J. Abrams show that was good and it just, so it's like, it's just right now, if you got the itch, bro, just fucking do it. Just write it and you just got to take that time to do it, man. But because right now, I don't know nobody knows which way it's headed.
Yeah. Before we let you go, how did you do those strikes? Because I know you're still, you're booking roles. They're not necessarily the leads in per se, and if they are the leads, it's not usually big money and stuff like that. But when the strikes come about, are you able to hold it down with a family in LA? It's a fuck. I don't know how your hair's not grayer.
I know, right? Well, I mean, yeah, that year of the strike, was that last year? Yeah, that was last year. Yeah, it was rough, dude. It was rough because you didn't know when jobs were gonna come in. But I mean, again, whatever it is, man, luck or I don't know. I got pretty lucky, dude, that I didn't have to go get a real job. I also do a lot of like voiceover work, like in commercials, like voiceovers in Spanish.
Okay.
But I got little jobs here and there where I didn't have to go get a real job.
That's good.
So I'm still good. And then residuals, bro. Residuals come in. I got good agents. I got good reps. So I'm good.
Man.
But I'll tell you this though, like I'm lucky that I didn't have to. Like I'm good. But if I had to, I would do it. There's no shame in that shit. I'd go work. I would go work in a restaurant, like I don't need to be a million. As long as I got enough to pay my mortgage.
Right.
And if I have to go work in a restaurant, I'll do it. There's no shame in that. I don't understand people that think that that's a bad, like.
The shame is not taking care of your family or your responsibilities. That's the shame. Sitting there moping around like, oh, fuck, how did this happen to me? Nah, dude, get up, brush yourself off, go get that shit done. One way or another.
It's the grind and it's temporary and it's just or even if it's a thing that you do to pay your bills and then the other stuff. But I got lucky again. But again, I'm not above it. I'd go work at a restaurant right now if I didn't have money. If I needed money to pay for my mortgage or something.
Right.
But just the short answer is like a lot of voiceover works and those guest star roles. Those really helped. And residuals, dude. Residuals.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
so
good.
I'm not rich, but you know, I'm comfortable.
Go and bro, like I said, to be in LA and to have a family, to have a beautiful house and everything that you've done out there and taking good care of yourself, you got to be doing good. And I'm very happy for you, and I'm glad that the work is consistent. Last question for you though: when was the last time you spoke to Wilfredo?
Last year?
Last
No,
year?
this year.
Okay.
Last year. I go to New York a lot. Uh, I hate saying this because I know, but so I've been working on this job that I can't talk about because I signed
Okay.
an NDA.
It's cool. It's
But
cool.
it's not.
Yeah.
It's nothing big. It's not like a
No.
Marvel movie. It's not
Right.
a
Right.
life change. But it's a good gig, and
Yeah.
you know, the director loves me, and I go to New York. They fly me out of New
Hmm.
York all the time, so it's a good. And it's been going for the last 2 years, and I think I
Okay.
got one more year before it's done. I don't
Hmm.
know. But every time I go to New York, I hit up Wilfredo and Nikori. You remember Nikori?
Yes, I do.
She
Holy
still
shit!
works for Family Life Theater. And
Get
so the
out of
last time
here.
I saw Wilfredo was last year, I think in November, and we went to go see a play.
Hmm.
It was his birth. Was it? I think it was whatever. I took him, you know, because I always feel like I
Yeah.
owe him
Yeah.
shit. So I took him to go see a Broadway play. We went to go see The Great Gatsby because my friend's girlfriend is in The Great Gatsby,
Okay.
and now she's in the Buena Vista Social Club,
Social club.
another
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Broadway play that's really, and she's really good, and that's a really good. So when I go
Yeah.
to New York again, I'm about to go in a few months.
Okay.
That's what I'm gonna go see next. But
So
I talk to Fred all the time, bro. I'm gonna tell him that I talk to you, that you're
I'm gonna
doing
send.
well.
So I talk to Wilfredo once a year on his birthday. I'll send him a message, and he's like, "Well, it's an election year, so I don't fuck around with social media too much. I can't deal with the negativity." But so it's only his birthday where I'm saying, "Hey, Wilfredo, man, just want to let you know, love you. Thank you for everything that you always did. Wish I wasn't stupid when I was a kid, but I hope you have a great birthday, and you and Axel are living, your happiest lives." And he'll respond back to me. But I would love to catch up with Wilfredo at some point because, as stupid as it may sound, I want him to know that I'm not the asshole that he remembers. I'm like, well, Fred, I'm all grown up, Papi. I'm all this. I'm different. I'm not that guy no more. I'm
Bro,
totally different.
don't take it personal, bro.
No.
He doesn't respond to me on, so I don't even think he has social media. I go told him, I was like, you don't follow me? She's like, no, I don't want to follow you. You're gonna mess up my algorithm. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm gonna mess up your algorithm. So
What's he do? Is he
he
retired?
sometimes I text him and he replies like 3 days later. Like
Yeah, yeah.
but
Is
what'd
he
you
retired
say?
now? Is he retired?
No, he's still doing Family Life Theater. He got
He is doing it. I know he had done that play, the beautiful black girl in the bubble or something like that.
the bubbly black girl, yes.
Yes, yes. Okay.
But that was already a few years ago. He just got a doctorate in something, man. If he watches it, he'd be so annoyed because he explains it to me like 5 times and I don't know. But he got a doctorate in something, and
Okay.
but he's still doing that. Like that's his main focus, like
Yeah, yeah.
theater in the workplace, and then he's still with Axel. He's still Nikki, I think, still works for Family Life Theater.
Yeah, yeah. Dude,
He's
I'd,
still
I'd
there
love to
doing that.
catch up with them, man. They say I at this age, I got more years ahead of me or more years behind me than I do ahead of me. But there's something about those years that I can't let go of, and I'm constantly looking over my shoulder to relive those years in some way. The good parts, not the me being an asshole part, but dude, I'd love to catch up with you and Ali and Memo and Edgar and Wilfredo, and again as grown men, and let each of you know how much you all mean to me. And I'm glad that you and I are able to do this here because I love you, brother. And I'm so glad that after all this time, you're doing well, and we still have this vibe. And Wilfredo's the guy who put it all together, and he means so much to us. And like I said, when I read your article that he was the best man at your wedding and how you guys stayed together, that's the true friendship that I know we all had from 30 years ago. So, dude,
Yeah.
it means the world to me.
Same here, bro. Again, yeah. I don't know how you look at your life back then or whatever the fuck you think you messed up on or whatever. But when I look back and I think about you, man, you're always the fucking funny Puerto Rican dude that talk like an Italian. Oh, are you there? Are you back?
Yep, yeah, I'm back. We got thunderstorms out here, so like tornado warnings and shit.
Oh,
Hurricane
yeah, because
season.
you froze. Well, I don't know where I got caught up. The point is that when I think of you back then, man, you were always fucking that dude that was a really good actor. Like, I learned a lot from you just from
Yeah,
that play that always made us laugh, bro. And it was always good times. It was good times.
I
And
appreciate
I'm
it, man.
glad you didn't mess it up with Lori. Now you gotta beautiful family. You
I'm
got a
gonna tell
beautiful
it to him. Like,
family,
yeah, I
bro.
spoke to Eddie. He said that you told him we broke up.
But make sure you tell her that she
Yeah,
looks
yeah, yeah.
sad as fuck. It was like he knew back then.
Really? Oh man, I'm kind of glad to hear that. Kind of.
She was fucking sad. You could
I'm
tell
like,
her.
yes, I heard you were missing me too. Like, you know, you had like remorse for leaving. I'm gonna make some shit up too, so don't mind if I say, yeah. Eddie said that like you were begging to like, can you please like let him know that.
I think I was with Ty. I think I was with Ty. We were at somewhere like it was some fucking parade somewhere. I don't know. We were like in public somewhere, like in some parade somewhere, and she was with some friends or something like that. But again, like bro, the thing that sticks out in my mind was that she looked so sad that you broke up with her. She was so sad that me and Ty were like fucking stupid ass Derek. Derek is the dumbass.
Yep, probably, man. You know, and it's so funny because I look back at those times and I'm like, maybe I'd still be an asshole if that didn't happen. So maybe I need to take that bullet, and it changed my whole life. So yeah, as much as it hurt, fuck it, here I am. But bro, like I said,
tell her I said hello, man. Tell her I said hello, and that
I will.
She did a good job with her 4 kids, because you got 3 kids or 2 kids. Ah, you froze again.
Oh, me? I got 2. She didn't have anybody else.
You're back. You're back. You're back.
Okay.
You froze.
Am I good now?
Well, now you are. You got 2 kids, right?
I got 2 kids. If you say I got 4 kids, and she got a hidden family I don't know about.
No, I was trying to say joke that she did good with her 3 kids, because you know her 2 kids and you.
Well,
yeah.
She still considers me one of them, so it's good. But brother, I don't want to hold you up. I appreciate you taking the time. I want to do this again. I'm gonna text you my number so we can keep in touch, and I want to get you in contact with Joe Lynch, because I think Joe, you know, I think you and Joe work great together. He's got a lot of projects coming up in the horror genre, and I know you did Night Swim about a year or 2 ago. So I think maybe this could be an opportunity, maybe to get you some more FaceTime on in the horror genre. So I'll definitely get you guys in contact together.
All right, bro.
All right, brother. Ladies and gentlemen, that's my dude, Eddie Martinez. Make sure you're following him. Where can they find you on the socials so they can follow the career?
Eddie Martinez 11, the number 11. Eddie Martinez 11, the number 11.
Okay, and that's on Instagram.
Just on Instagram, yeah.
Just on Instagram. All right, ladies and gentlemen, make sure that you're following Eddie Martinez on Instagram. Make sure you're supporting him and his family, his beautiful daughters, who are also in the business now, doing big things. The come-ups, I'm telling you, man, you seen him here first. You seen him here. He's been doing a lot of shit, but I promise you, man, he's going to be doing a lot more. He's got that breaking point. It's on its way. But our time is up. I'm DieHard Derek Gordon. That's Eddie Martinez. This is the Midnight Hustle. Can you dig it? We're out.